Yeah. Hello, Alexander. Can you tell us a little bit about you and what are you doing right now?
Yeah, sure. I'm Alexander. I have a forestry background and we're trying to innovate the forestry, reforestation, and conservation space for the past 14 years
Mm-hmm.
using different technology.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, from hardware like drones, where we went into different countries and did canopy mappings, where we then create 3D models from the forest and derive certain data from it, like
Mm-hmm.
number of trees, biomass, and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one component. The other component is that we helped projects in bringing their data from paper into structured databases so that they could do like a proper forest inventory so that they know how many
Mm-hmm.
trees, what kind of trees, how thick they are, how much timber was in the
Mm-hmm.
forest, when to harvest or improve or pruning the forests and things like that. So we help them structured information internally so that they can improve their internal processes. And secondly, we encourage these organizations to show this information that they create internally for improving their
Mm-hmm.
management publicly to their stakeholders and funders through dashboards or interactive web maps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this
Awesome.
is really in a on a bigger view the what kind of areas we've been working, and because we saw that some organizations were very successful using data to improve their internal process and better communicate what they do, we started 2018 and putting this experience and knowledge into a platform service. So where we not
Mm-hmm.
have to build it again and again for each client, where we could build it once in a more consolidated way with all our experience, which then has become explorer.land, which is our geospatial communication and data platform for nature restoration projects.
And what are the main goals or goal you are trying to achieve for your and for your clients?
Yeah, so we see nature as our first priority. So basically, with all the work we can do, we want to have a positive impact on the environment. So if we can help small to medium-sized conservation projects, reforestation projects to build more trust towards their stakeholders with data, with information, so that they can receive funding. If you can show on a satellite image with a time series in high resolution that you received money and then you have planted trees and now they are growing, this creates confidence. And basically, with all the data and information, we want to tell an inspiring story so that people start investing into nature, but then also ground truth these stories in data. So with satellite imagery, fire alerts, deforestation alerts, so different kind of data layers which can be adapted to a certain ecosystem to best inform what's going on there, so that this
Mm-hmm.
transparency then encourages more investments to flow into the nature space. And this is the value that we also create for our clients.
Mm-hmm.
It's transparent communication and reporting for conservation and restoration projects globally.
And walk us through the key steps you took to solve this problem using data. What's your approach? What was the step one when you started to solving this problem, and the steps after that?
Yeah. So if you compare the restoration industry, so let's call it for a moment industry, to what's, let's say, telecommunication or some other advanced industries, it's really what I would call middle age in terms of technology and information management. So we still in Germany a lot of forest operations that work entirely with pen and paper. So
Mm-hmm.
non-structured, or let's say little structured, but really very manually. And any kind of technology that helps to centralize the information, create like a single source of truth through very simple database applications is a big step for many organizations. And what we always try to do is to combine data, like factual data, with geospatial data, so that we can create different perspectives on the same subject. So let's imagine you have like a forest inventory. You can measure this on the ground with a measuring tape, the size of the tree and the height of the tree, and you can calculate how much timber is there. But then on the other hand, you can use advanced satellite imagery and technology to do, or let's say to extrapolate the ground truth data and run them through a bigger area where then machine learning algorithms can be used to train models, to use classification so that you can say, okay, this area is spruce, this area is oak. Then you calculate the volume and then you can update it for an entire landscape and do also a refresh. So if new satellite imagery comes in and the distribution, for example, of trees or the state of the ecosystem has changed, this then can automatically calculate it across bigger areas. So it's the entire process of onboarding projects really from pen and paper towards the more data-driven approach, and then using these more punctual data to enrich them, for example, with more analytics and satellite-based data to extrapolate the data more automatically and map the progress in space and time.
And you have what team of the people were working on this project or are working on this project right now?
I would say we have a quite complementary team. So the founders consist of a physicist, a geoecologist, and me as a forester. However, we have like a software engineering team. We have natural resource experts. We have marketing people as well as some sales people in our team. So we have like a complementary team with different skill sets. So really as you would build up a normal company. But of course, the data side, the software engineering side plays a major role.
And while working on this project, like what were the biggest obstacles you faced? Some kind of issues with data availability, technical challenges? What was the main challenge and how do you tackle them?
Yes, so I give you two answers. Answer first is that not really the technology was the obstacle. So the biggest obstacle is really finding a business model in this space. Because these projects which are work on the ground and plant trees, they don't have a lot of money and also not a lot of money to spend on IT because they want to spend the money in planting forests. And therefore we decided going from this more customized solutions towards a platform solution because we could offer a kind of similar service at a much lower cost point. So, however, going from customized solutions towards scalable platform solutions, this is a total different beast. So building up scalable software architecture with code testings automatically be implemented, working with different people on the same code repositories and things like that. So to build up a machine that is robust so that corporates can use it, embed it into their website to have quick response time, then integrating a lot of data into these web applications is really a really challenging thing because it's a huge amount of data. I'm not an expert in this, but we had to set up tile servers to deliver just the things that you can see. And we had to do a lot of caching in the background of the data so that we can call it up at the speed we need it. And then performing like queries on the fly on the data. So if you load the data and then program the queries on the front end at a certain speed and performance, this is basically a big challenge which you can't see on the surface. Where the entire platform, I think till today have been optimized quite good to this. And this, was really a central challenge. So the performance and usability is 70-80% of the work. That's going in the background. Yeah.
And what would you do differently if you were about to start this project again, having this hindsight right now and knowledge you have right now?
Yeah. So what we did is we bootstrapped. So basically, we had a consulting business first. We earned a little bit of money, and then we invested into the software development, and it has been growing organically. But now, with all the knowledge we have now, we would maybe go for let's say an investment, get a good team up and running first, and then really build it with the latest state-of-the-art technology again, because you always have like a legacy, a technology legacy or guild that you build up when you build this over long term, like a software platform. And I think we made a lot of good decisions in terms of the architecture and also not being dependent on certain technologies. So, for example, if you use the Google mapping framework, you're really tied into the Google world. And we made some, I would say, wise decisions in the beginning that gives us now a lot of freedom to develop it as we need. But yeah, there's always room to improve. And of course, we made mistakes, and it has costed us a lot of time and effort to repair them. And yeah, of course, from the future, you can always improve if you look back. But this is not a decision you can make when you're at that point.
Exactly. And what specific tools or platforms were essential in helping you gather, analyze the data, and what tools are you using right now to help you provide information?
Yeah, so I also have to separate. So on one hand, if we do like custom client work in the geospatial space, there are different tools we have been using, from Google Earth Engine, QGIS, Quantum GIS, Python. So different tools and let's say coding words we've been used to analyze, so also calculating 3D models, derive data from it, and so on. Yeah, but now within the platform, so the technology is not really rocket science. It's more about proper engineering to deliver the performance. So so we're using like a quite standard technology stack to build it up, like PHP in the back end. We have the Mapbox framework. We're pulling in a lot of data from different APIs. So we're not creating and analyzing the data ourselves. So basically, we've built like a big repository to access different other geospatial services from Esri, Mapbox, Google Earth Engine, Global Forest Watch, where we stream in the data, and then we make it basically queryable, so that we're quite, let's say, data agnostic. So if there's a deforestation alert or a fire alert, it's basically this similar kind of information, but which we can then quantify against like a geospatial area, so that we can say within, I don't know, 20 hectares, 10 hectares have been deforested, or within 20 hectares, 10 hectares have been burned down. So it's kind of a similar information to analyze the data.
And looking into the past, if you could change something, let's look into the future. What do you see great on the horizon in the terms of new technology in upcoming year or two? You see something great and you are excited about that, or even starting to using this right now in your company?
Well, so from let's say the information that's valuable for our clients that's coming. So we see a lot of progress that has been made in the geospatial side. So of course we heard here of SpaceX, but there are also other companies like Planet, which have a satellite swarm to create now on a daily base 1 to 3 meter resolution satellite imagery on a daily base from every place in the world. So something like this is really a game changer for monitoring and reporting of nature-based projects, because in the past you only had like from time to time, let's say every 1 or 3 year, one new satellite image. And then you need to hope that there was no cloud and you can see something. And this has now changed. So we can get today at a very low cost point global coverage of high resolution imagery that then can be analyzed in terms of land use change, biomass, climate information, and things like that. So this is a big advancement on the geospatial side. Another one is like drone imagery is available much easier. So basically everyone can buy a drone in an electronics supermarket, which is already of high quality. So where you can create satellite drone imagery of down to 1 centimeter, where you can really read a magazine from the drone and can really see the details of a project. So the quality, how have something planted, do the trees survive, and things like that. So from this side, there are a lot of advancement. And then analyzing the data, of course, also. So there have been quite intelligent classification software that have been developed. Maybe I'm now naming it the wrong way, but Facebook has invented something that calls classify anything. It's just to classify photos. Maybe it's a different name, but to classify photos. But this could also be used in the geospatial space, so that you say, I'm clicking on a map, this is a road, this is a road, and then bling, certainly you have all the roads in your property defined, or this is a tree, this is a tree, this is a tree, and then it automatically classifies all the trees, and making, let's say, complex GIS and remote sensing applications really available for the end users. So just by clicking on the map and then generating classified maps and retrieves specific information from it. So I think that's also super interesting technology that has emerged. Yeah, and of course, we also see a lot of AI-based classification that gets in different kind of data and is then delivering specific environmental KPI. This is still a little bit in the beginning, so it's not that ideal. Then you might use ChatGPT to create like an email or something like that, or a report. But it's going there, and I assume that a lot of AI-based assisted analytics tool will make the geospatial data processing much more easy for, let's say, non-GIS experts soon.
Nice. Speaking about AI, how you are using AI in your day-to-day work? Maybe some kind of specific prompts or approaches you want to share, and which are making your work faster or better or both?
Yeah, so of course our program is using what's this, Copilot or something like that for creating the code. So some standard tools like this, we're using, of course, ChatGPT and stuff in our work, or let's say deriving protocols like with these tools like Otter or something like that to record like meetings. Yeah, but that's for the moment. So specifically in our field, I would say not the technology is the bottleneck. The bottleneck is really to apply what's already there. So it's the adoption rate in the sector is still very low. Just using Excel and a simple database is already a milestone if done consistently. Yeah.
Finally, based on your experience, what one advice would you give someone looking to leveraging data more efficiently in their business?
I would say really look deep into the subject. So of course it's great to have like a meaning. So if you work for the environment or for people, for social topics, and I think it's really important to understand the reality first on the subject and then base basically the analysis on that. Maybe I did not fully get your question, but
no, I think you answered perfectly. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the answers during our conversation today and being a part of DDDM FM podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas, also for inviting me. It was really nice speaking with you. Yeah.